Today we're making a rose cage or climbing plant trellis. In this video I'll show you how to create a beautiful and functional trellis for your climbing roses or vines. This is what it would look like when we are done, and this is what my old trellis looked like before. This is an easy and budget-friendly way to build a trellis that will keep everything growing in the right direction using only 2 tools. So let's get started. I got my plants from Instagram and the user 3res. Thank you very much. The only thing you need for this are 2 tools, a drill driver and a circular saw. You can even use a handsaw and nails and a hammer for this. I went the power tool route though. I would not count these as tools, but you also need bits and a drill for the drill driver, pen, measuring tape and something to make straight cuts with. Preferably a speed square. Start by measuring out the legs for the cage. I will put all the measurements and a cut list in the description. When cutting, I'm using a speed square to keep the cuts reasonably straight, but you can freehand this if you have steady hands. After that, you measure out even lengths on both the legs for one side of the cage. In my case, I use a spacing of 40 centimeters or 15.7 inches. But if you want different dimensions on your cage, you can divide the length of your legs with 5 to get 4 marking points on where to put your side slats on. Then measure out your side slats. My specific measurements are in the description, but you can of course use whatever measurements you want. You have to cut 16 slats in total in 4 different lengths. If you want it square, you have to cut the 4 slats to roughly the same length. Leave a little overhang when fastening the side slats, as showed here. Later we will trim that away. Also remember to pre-drill, if you're using these skinny slats, as I am, to keep the wood from splitting. And remember to use a drill bit made for wood and make sure it's thinner than the screws you are using. Speaking of which, I'm just using regular deck screws rated for outdoor use. Start by fastening the longest side slat lowest to the ground and work yourself up. You can do as I did here and measure the side slats in place, or you can cut them all at once at the same time. It doesn't really matter. Yes, I cheated a little bit and used a impact driver as well. Just because I had it, and it goes a lot quicker if you use one of those. So I highly recommend it, but not necessary. Now you should have this A-frame complete. Now trim off the part of the side slats that are hanging over the edge of the legs. Just be really careful here. I would recommend using a handsaw or a sander to remove these. Future me here. I realized that the way I did this was stupid and more dangerous than it needed to be. Just set the slats where you want them at the marks on the legs. Draw a line from the back of the slats and then do your cuts. You can even screw in the slats to the legs before drawing a line on it to keep it stable. Then cut the top of the A-frame and try to get it straight. Do that one more time and now you have this. After that it's very straightforward. Just connect the rest of the slats with the 2 A-frames. You can then add what you want to the top of the rose cage. Just put some scrap wood there for now. Now it's complete. This took a couple of hours and the price in total for the lumber was about 20 euros, and that's like $22. I chose to paint my rose cage black and I think it looks pretty slick. This is what it looks like in the garden with some flowering vines. This will look really good once the vine has grabbed hold of the cage. Thank you so much for watching, and if you liked the video, please subscribe for more.